Actiloom.com is a relatively new online store that claims to offer stylish, affordable, and sustainable fashion, but upon closer investigation, it raises several red flags that strongly suggest it may not be a legitimate business. At first glance, the website appears clean and professional, with sleek product images, modern branding, and appealing language around eco-conscious clothing. However, a deeper dive into the site's background, customer feedback, and technical reputation quickly reveals a number of concerning issues. The domain for Actiloom.com was only registered in June 2025, making it a very new entrant to the online retail space. Compounding this concern is the fact that the site's ownership is hidden using domain privacy services, a common move among scam sites that do not want their operators to be traceable. No official business registration number, address, or company name is provided on the site, and the About Us section contains only vague, generic text that could apply to any fashion website. There are no founders mentioned, no manufacturing or sourcing transparency, and no real brand story. Technical analysis by scam detection services, such as Scam Detector, reveals an extremely low trust score of just 6.1 out of 100, categorizing Actiloom.com as suspicious and potentially fraudulent. It also exhibits signs of phishing and malware risk, which means users visiting the site or entering payment information could be at risk of data theft. The site uses a basic SSL certificate, but this is no longer a reliable signal of trust, as most modern scams employ HTTPS encryption. Furthermore, Actiloom has been linked by some consumers to a broader network of similarly structured scam websites, often sharing website layouts, product imagery, and even identical item listings with known fraudulent stores. In some cases, the exact same clothing items listed on Actiloom for $30 or more can be found on platforms like AliExpress or Temu for under $5, suggesting that the site may function as a low-effort dropshipping operation, one that misrepresents cheap, mass-produced items as ethically made or designer quality. Customer complaints, although still limited due to the site's newness, are already starting to emerge on forums like Reddit and platforms like complaint lists. These early reports indicate that customers who have ordered from the site often experience excessively long shipping times, sometimes with tracking numbers that stop updating, or they receive items that don't match the advertised pictures. Some buyers say they never received anything at all and were ignored by customer support when they attempted to get a refund. The site lacks any phone support or live chat, offering only a generic contact form or email address that frequently goes unanswered. This lack of customer service and post-sale support is another classic hallmark of scam e-commerce platforms. 4. Questionable product sourcing. Many items listed on Actiloom.com are suspiciously similar, if not identical, to those found on low-cost wholesale platforms such as AliExpress, Shein, and Temu. Side-by-side comparisons have shown matching photos, models, and product descriptions. However, Actiloom marks up these products significantly and presents them as sustainable or ethically made, which is misleading at best and deceptive at worst. This practice is common among dropshipping websites that present themselves as premium or socially responsible brands but in fact import cheap, mass-produced items from overseas warehouse and resell them at inflated prices. These products are often not eco-friendly, may be made under questionable labor conditions, and usually lack the quality control one expects when shopping from a brand that emphasizes ethics and sustainability. 5. Early customer complaints and patterns of deception. Because Actiloom is new, there's a limited number of consumer reviews available on major review sites like Trustpilot or Sitejabbar. However, the few that do exist are overwhelmingly negative. Customers report not receiving products at all, or receiving items that looked very different from what was advertised. In many of these cases, customers tried to reach out for assistance but were ignored or met with non-committal replies. Additionally, scam reporting websites have already begun flagging Actiloom as a suspicious or untrustworthy site. These reports cite many of the same warning signs mentioned here: new domain registration, hidden identity, vague or misleading branding, and a lack of customer service. While it's possible that the business is simply new and disorganized, the combination of all these factors strongly points toward a low-effort scam or short-lived dropshipping operation. Misleading marketing tactics. Actiloom employs several manipulative marketing strategies that are common among questionable online retailers. The site features aggressive countdown timers, only a few left messages, and claims of limited time sales that never actually expire. These tactics are designed to pressure customers into making quick purchasing decisions without doing proper research. Moreover, the site's lack of genuine social proof is telling. There are no verified buyer reviews under the products, no photo reviews, and no engagement on social media platforms. Brands that truly connect with customers tend to feature user-generated content, tag customers in posts, or at least show signs of real people interacting with the brand. Actiloom appears to have none of this, further reinforcing the idea that the brand exists solely as a shell to collect payment information and move on. For those who have already made a purchase from Actiloom, it's wise to monitor your payment method for unusual activity, file a dispute or charge back if your item doesn't arrive, and report your experience to consumer watchdog agencies. Actiloom.com presents itself as a sleek, modern online fashion store that claims to offer sustainable, affordable, and trend-forward clothing, but upon deeper inspection, the website displays multiple concerning signs that suggest it may be misleading consumers, or worse, operating as part of a larger scam network. At first glance, Actiloom appears attractive: clean design, sharp product photography, buzzwords like ethical, handmade, and eco-conscious prominently featured, and an extensive catalog of apparel at surprisingly low prices. However, beneath this polished front lies a pattern of deception that experienced online shoppers will recognize. The domain itself is very new, registered just recently, and the ownership information is completely hidden via domain privacy shielding. This tactic is commonly used by scam websites to avoid accountability and evade detection. Furthermore, the website offers no business registration number, no physical location, and no mention of the founders or company history, basic information that any legitimate business would typically provide. The About Us section is filled with vague marketing language that could easily be copy-pasted from hundreds of similar low-effort retail sites. There is no mention of sourcing standards, ethical production certifications, or transparency around where the garments are made despite the brand's eco-conscious claims. Even more troubling are the reports from early customers who have tried ordering from the site. Some buyers say they received extremely low-quality products that bore little resemblance to the polished images shown online, while others report never receiving their orders at all. In these cases, customers often find themselves with no recourse. The contact email provided on the website goes unanswered, there is no phone number or chat support, and refund requests are ignored or outright denied. Additionally, several of the exact same products being sold on Actiloom.com can be found on cheap wholesale marketplaces like AliExpress and Temu, sometimes for as little as 10% of Actiloom's marked up prices. This strongly suggests that Actiloom is a dropshipping operation rather than a true fashion label, and that the supposed sustainable, curated fashion is likely mass-produced, low-cost inventory shipped from overseas warehouse. The site's use of aggressive urgency marketing, limited time only, almost sold out, ends tonight, is another red flag. These fake countdowns are often employed by scam sites to pressure customers into quick purchases before they take time to research the company. Moreover, Actiloom lacks many of the standard trust signals expected from credible online retailers. There are no verified product reviews on the site, no links to active social media accounts, no third-party customer testimonials, and no user-generated content. It's common for scam e-commerce sites to launch quickly, attract buyers through targeted social media ads. 1. A first look, presentation versus reality. At first glance, Actiloom.com appears to be a well-curated fashion platform. It markets itself as a destination for minimal, trendy, and sustainable clothing. Many product pages showcase clean designs with affordable prices, and the site makes broad claims about supporting ethical manufacturing. But despite the surface-level appeal, there is an immediate absence of critical transparency. There is no Meet the Team section, no factory details, no certifications for fair labor practices, and no mention of where the clothes are made. This is a major concern for a brand that positions itself as sustainable and ethical, two attributes that typically demand a high degree of openness and verification. The About page includes vague, emotionally driven language about fashion with a purpose, but provides no concrete information about the founders, the company's location, or its supply chain. Many legitimate fashion brands, even small startups, include their story, values, and sourcing methodology to build credibility. Actiloom includes none of this. 2. Domain and company registration red flags. Actiloom.com's domain was registered very recently, in mid-2025. This in itself isn't automatically suspicious, as every website has to start somewhere. However, what raises eyebrows is the fact that the domain ownership is completely hidden through privacy protection services. Scam websites frequently use this method to obscure their real identity and location, making it difficult to hold the operators accountable. On top of that, there is no listed business address, company registration number, or corporate entity mentioned anywhere on the site. When a company is selling products globally, especially in the fashion industry where returns and sizing issues are common, a lack of traceability is a huge risk to consumers. Further technical analysis shows that the site shares behavioral patterns with other known scam stores. Low domain age, no external verification or reviews, and an apparent lack of legitimate infrastructure behind the store's operations. In some instances, buyers and scam watch communities have linked similar designs and layout templates to networks of short-lived online stores that disappear after a few months of operation. 3. Poor or no customer service. Another critical red flag is the absence of responsive, reliable customer support. Actiloom provides only a basic contact form or a single email address. There's no phone number, no live chat, and no indication of how customer issues are prioritized or resolved. Reports from customers on independent complaint forums suggest that emails sent to Actiloom often go unanswered or receive only generic, automated responses. This becomes especially troubling for users who never receive their orders, receive incorrect or defective products, or attempt to initiate a return or refund. Before buying, how to evaluate an online store like Actiloom.com. Check domain age and ownership. Use tools like voice lookup to see when the site was registered. If the domain is less than a year old and the owner's identity is hidden, proceed with caution. Search for external reviews. Look beyond the website. Use Google, Reddit, Citejabber, or Trustpilot. Search phrases like Actiloom.com reviews, Actiloom scam, or Actiloom legit. Look for business transparency. A real business should list a physical address, business number, return policies, and company info. Look for signs of a registered LLC or public-facing team. Analyze product photos. Reverse image search product photos using tools like Google Images. If images appear on dozens of other websites, especially wholesale platforms like AliExpress or Shein, they are likely not original. Scan the website for red flags. Typos, vague return refund policies, fake social media links, and countdown timers are all common signs of scam shops. Check if the privacy policy and terms of service are copy-pasted or generic. After purchase, what to do if you ordered from Actiloom. Keep records of your purchase. Save order confirmations, payment receipts, shipping emails, and screenshots of the product listing. Document any contact attempts you make with their customer service. Monitor your bank or credit card activity. Watch for suspicious charges beyond your initial purchase. If you see anything unusual, contact your bank immediately. Initiate a dispute or chargeback. If you paid via credit card or PayPal, request a refund through their dispute resolution system. For credit card purchases, contact your bank and explain the situation. You typically have 120 days to initiate a chargeback. Contact Actiloom directly just once. Send a professional email requesting a refund or tracking update. If they fail to respond within a week, escalate the issue to your payment provider. If you suspect a scam, how to report Actiloom.com. Report to the FTC, US customers. https://reportfraud.ftc.gov. Include transaction details, the website URL, and your communications. Report to your country's Consumer Protection Agency. UK Action Fraud. Canada Competition Bureau. Australia ACCC Scam Watch. Report to the Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3. https://www.ic3.gov for international scams and cyber fraud. Flag the site on scam reporting platforms. Submit a warning on scamadvisor.com, trustpilot.com, or Better Business Bureau. Alert others online. Share your experience on Reddit, e.g. r/scams, TikTok, or Facebook groups focused on online shopping safety. The more visibility these reports get, the less likely others will fall victim. Actiloom.com shows strong signs of being an untrustworthy or deceptive retailer. Newly registered, anonymous ownership, vague policies, potential dropshipping, no clear customer support, and growing negative feedback.